Get the upper hand on your competition with SCUF controllers. Use code OGXRAYZ to get 5% off your entire order. So yesterday I uploaded a video titled Treyarch was forced to fix the black market, and that is essentially what happened. After the black market update that we got last Tuesday, we essentially got a new system that was broken. We had no reserves after tier 100, we had a incredibly slow earn rate on the reserve cases, and overall it just sucked because it felt like Treyarch was pushing for people to be so frustrated not earning reserves quick enough that they would resort to spending money to get the reserve crate. So a lot of people, myself included, a few of my friends, a whole bunch of other content creators and just members of the community banded together. We talked about this, we made videos, we made posts, and wouldn't you know it, yesterday Treyarch released a hotfix, an update that reverted the black market back to how it was, in that now you earn new reserves every tier after tier 100, plus the regular reserve cases that you earn from that little wheel thing continue to stay even after tier 100. So now essentially you could be earning 3 tiers easily, which would normally cost you 2 before. So the system is now better than it ever has been before. If you guys want to know more details on that, the story, how it all happened, and what the changes fully entailed, check out that video. I will link it down in the description below. But in this video, I wanted to talk about something else, which is another post that was posted on Reddit, and I did see this actually in the comment section of my video yesterday where I talked about we did it, we got Treyarch to change the black market, and that is that this was a step in the right direction. No doubt about it, the black market is the best that it has ever been now because of all of the feedback we gave Treyarch, but the work is not done. There is a lot more stuff that was promised that never arrived, and to be completely honest, the zombies community has been incredibly neglected. And it's time that we continue to let our voices be heard. And so I want you guys to do me a favor, drop a like on the video. It is going to share the video around, get more people talking about it. If you see any other content creators make a similar video like this, share that one around. Let's get some traction going on this so that we can have Treyarch look at this and maybe even just acknowledge or address the different topics that was brought up in this Reddit post. And I'll also put it in the description below for you guys who want to read it, but I'll be summarizing and giving you guys basically a pretty quick synopsis of what he said. So this is how the post read. With the recent extreme backpedaling done by Treyarch, and with their best PR response to the issue of they made an honest mistake trying to do the best for the community, I, amongst many others, are happy, even though leading up to the sudden change there was many people on here telling everyone to stop whining or breaking out literally every excuse available to defend the crappy microtransactions being crammed in every corner of our game, and even going as far as saying it wouldn't change a damn thing. Well, it did, which proves as long as we're persistent and loud, our voices will be heard. But let's not start praising them just yet. Really hammer down on the issues that keep this from becoming an amazing game. For example, we were promised combat records akin to Black Ops 3 over 3 months ago. No word, nothing, and it's unacceptable. I can't see my gun stats in multiplayer zombies or Blackout. Why? What logical reason have we lost a huge part of every COD game? We were promised that all Blackout characters would be tied to missions or items. This was also BS. Granted, not as huge as an issue, still slightly obnoxious paying for characters who should be in the base game. Looking at you, Ultimate Richtofen and Takyao. The 20Hz servers are freaking horrendous. What are we overpaying for if we aren't even getting good stable servers? We've all been there, blue screen, connection interrupted, all that fun jazz. Microtransactions don't match the price point nor the quality for a AAA title. Why do we pay $60 to $110 on a game that has 90% junk filler in our content seasons and the same amount of junk filler in the reserves and shop? Stickers, face paints, calling cards, reticles, useless. They should have been tied to challenges like previous COD titles. Black Ops Pass was a crappy implementation and should be borderline illegal. Yes, I bought this pass, yet I find it as a good deal because I want all the zombies maps regardless, so I'm paying for all those maps eventually, so saving up the money and getting those maps by grabbing the prior season pass was great for me. But that's just for me. What about the people hesitant on purchasing DLC or who normally can't afford all the map packs and like to try it out or buy the fun maps with their friends recommended so they can play with them? It really alienates those players and makes it much more difficult to access additional content. On top of that, the majority of all maps we did get were just older maps from previous CODs, Firing Range, Summit, and Nuketown. How refreshing. I haven't played those maps a billion times. Matchmaking, it's atrocious. We've all been there as well. We join a game and peep the scoreboard and it's a stomp with everyone on your team newly joining or quitting, so you back out and try to join a new match and bam, right the F back in that horrible match again. Not only that, but the teams have always seemed to be stacked one way or another. Solo queues against full parties is my usual experience, not a huge fan of it, and skill-based matchmaking would be great. Factions and zombies are not here and were promised and teased before launch. Speaking of zombies, their game mode and community has been neglected more than any other game mode has so far. It took them months to make this mode stable enough to do Easter eggs, and oh yes, still, me and my high round friends are blue screening during high rounds. Lack of community developer communication and interaction. In this day and age, it's fairly important, to me at the least, that the people who work on our games aren't out of touch with the fans and people who play their games. Even a tiny bit goes a long way. Specialists. I'm on the fence with this topic personally. Some people are saying that we'd be better off without them entirely. Well, I can't agree. I'd agree that a compromise should be in place, meaning add no specialist playlist, rotate game modes inside of it to keep it from growing stale and being underpopulated. No more duplicates. Yes, I mentioned microtransactions and tier progression always, but this bugs the crap out of me. Free-to-play games who purely make profit off cosmetics usually don't use duplicates in their loot boxes. You're a AAA title, for God's sake. You don't need any additional way to increase your microtransaction sales. Please keep the noise going. Keep fighting and put this game in the best state it can be. A huge fan, most of these issues are entirely unacceptable and should be dealt with accordingly. As soon as possible, a lot of these issues have had it since launch to get fixed, and yet nothing. Alright, so to summarize this, there is a lot to talk about, and I have to be completely honest, a lot of this stuff is 100% on the bar. Like, this dude is 100% right. Some of the stuff that he mentioned, I kind of think that is going to be addressed here very soon, and I'll talk about that. But most of the stuff on here, totally right. What the hell's going on? We haven't even had communication on that part. So we'll scroll through this one more time. I'll explain a little bit about what I think about it, my own personal opinion, and then after that, we'll talk about some of the ones that I think will be addressed here soon. But the first one was Combat Records, and this one, literally, this guy is 100% on it. There hasn't even been communication about what's going on with Combat Records. We are 4 months into the game. There is no combat record in there, and there hasn't been a peep of info about it in months. So it would be really cool if Treyarch does a post. Just be transparent. Let us know what's going on. Maybe you guys were too busy working on other stuff. Just be honest with us. You know, not saying anything is worse than just admitting and saying, yo, we're too busy right now to do anything about that. You know, that would be amazing. Nintendo recently mentioned that Metroid Prime 4 was delayed because they were just not happy with what was being made, and they were transparent. They said, yo, we didn't think it was up to our standard. We're restarting it and we're doing a new studio. And it would be amazing if Treyarch was like, yo, this is what's going on with the Combat Records. This is why it's not here yet. And we're working on it. Even just saying we're working on it. You don't have to say when it's coming. You can just say, you know, give us an update. Anything really would be amazing. As for the blackout characters being only in, you know, missions and items, David Vonderhaar already addressed this. I made a full video on that one. Check that one out. Link in the description below. But long story short, David Vonderhaar said that he gave us information that was up to date at the time of what they told him. Things changed. Activision said, nah, this is how we're doing it, and they were kind of forced to follow that. So that's just the way that it is. We can't really pin this on one person. It's really more of a, you know, higher up top echelon type thing. So I understand the frustration, but at the same time, I don't think a lot of us really care that much. I think honestly, like he said, it's annoying, but it is what it is. All right, the 20 Hertz servers. Also, what the hell is that? You know, people were complaining about it months ago. Nothing happened. It would be cool if we got info on this as well. If not, then just say, yo, we can't do more than 20 Hertz. Just be honest with us as well. I just want transparency and honesty. I think that's a lot of what a lot of us want. Microtransactions for the prices, I think some of them are pretty fair. like, you know, reactive camos being $5 or regular camos being $3. Totally cool with that because that's way cheaper than, you know, a $20 skin in Fortnite. And yes, this is a AAA game, but at the same time, I feel like it's not as expensive to actually buy items from the black market because you're only really getting a new reactive camo or a new camo like 2 or 3 times. And I think I've only bought 6 things total since the game came out, like special orders or just like straight up weapons or camos out of there, and they repeat a lot. So because there's not a huge, you know, portfolio of stuff in there, you're really not spending that much. And the only thing is sometimes they're a little bit overpriced, like $20, my boy, like calm down. But I think for the majority of them, like the reactive camos, the smaller stuff, I think the prices would be nice if they were lower, but I'm not going to complain as much because they're pretty cheap, honestly, compared to other games. Black Ops Pass, I just wish there was no Black Ops Pass. I wish there was just free content, but I agree that it does fracture the community, and it would be cool if there was a way for people to buy individual stuff. If they want just a zombies map, at least offer those, and it looks like they might be headed in that direction because Classified is now one that you can buy separately, so it'd be cool if down the line they also make it so your friends can also, you know, download and play whatever zombies maps they want specifically. Would be pretty cool. Matchmaking, haven't really had issues, but if you are having them, comment them down below. Factions and zombies, there's been so much stuff that was leaked for zombies that just, in general, I wish Treyarch would do some stuff, and this is actually something that was brought up in my comment section, but the fact that, you know, people who play zombies don't earn any progress on their tiers just from in-game time is kind of BS. It's very hard to balance, I think, or it would probably is, because, you know, you're not spending time in the menus and the loading screens like you do in multiplayer or in Blackout. You know, Blackout's a little bit easier because matches can go around 20 minutes, really, if you survive till the end. But zombies is like straight up, I could play 4 or 5 hours nonstop and I'd be getting 4 or 5 tiers every single time from just that. And I feel like that makes it a little bit difficult for Treyarch to make that decision of like, well, do we give them 4 because they played and, you know, camped in a corner or repeated the same circle for 4 hours? I just don't think that there is kind of like an easy answer to that. It would be really cool if they did in the future where like, yo, in-game time in zombies counts towards progress, but it'd probably have to be tweaked and made so that it's fair, so that people aren't just playing zombies and camping in corners and glitching so that they can get a whole bunch of tiers. So I just feel like it's a very complicated situation, but that is the only thing that I feel is complicated. The rest is what the hell's going on. Give these people who have been suffering for months even some crumbs. Give them something. The gauntlets have been cool, but where's factions? Like, dude, just hook a brother up, okay? All right, the next one, lack of community developer communication. I feel like they've done a decent job. I would say maybe even better than last time, but I don't know. I think some people were saying that they had updates like weekly or bi-weekly with Black Ops 3. But, you know, it'd be cool if they had more transparency. Having more communication, more transparency is not a bad thing. I agree. Would be cool if they had a little bit more. As for the specialists, no specialist playlist. From what we saw in the roadmap, there is a mode called Bare Bones coming. And it might be a no specialist mode, so it'd be really cool if we see that. Maybe that'll be that no specialist mode, and if it is, I think that will address that issue. But, you know, it should just be, like they said, a mode that kind of circulates in. That would be cool, man. Some people just want to play with no specialists. Let them have the opportunity to do it, and maybe it sucks. Maybe not having specialists is totally boring. Give them the opportunity to find out if it's fun or not. And then finally, the final topic, and I can't 100% agree with this anymore because it is like hit the nail on the head. Why the hell are there duplicates in reserves? Like, why, my boy? Please stop that. That is so BS. And the fact that you have to get 3 duplicates before you get a replacement is bullcrap. If you're gonna have duplicates, then there should be automatic rerolls after every duplicate. And if not, then remove duplicates altogether. It's ridiculous that this is a thing still in a AAA game that you had to pay for. Make it so that you actually want to spend your money. You're actually making it harder because you're making people go through all these hoops, including duplicates. So it'd be really cool. So once again, if you want to see that full Reddit post, I will link it down in the description below. I wanted to talk about this. I want all of us to continue to talk about this conversation because there's a lot more that can be done. And like they said in the beginning, we want this game to be remembered as one of the best of all time. And if we work together, we communicate feedback, and we ask for change, hopefully, just like we saw recently in yesterday's update, we'll continue to see it. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching the video. Hopefully you guys did enjoy it. If you did, drop a like, drop a favorite on the video. It's super appreciated, incredibly helpful. And if you are new to the channel, if you want to see even more videos like this, obviously make sure you guys are subscribed, have notifications on so you don't miss a single upload here on the channel. If you guys do want to support the channel directly, you guys can do so by checking out my channel memberships. You get access to early content, exclusive videos, special badges, and a whole bunch more. So go ahead and check those out only if you are willing and able to. And then last but not least, if you want to talk about anything, Twitter is literally the best place to do so. I'm constantly talking over there at OGXRAYZ, link down in the description below. You guys have an awesome day. Take care. I'm out. Peace.